You see lots.
Yeah, I saw, I was looking at it too. I looked at the discussions, I think discussions before.
The discussions are case studies, and they're designed to make you think. The first one is at one level, and then they get a little more complicated as we go through the class, which is very deliberate on our part because you're going to be interviewing patients. As an MA, you will be the first contact past the front desk for a patient in wherever you're working, whether it's a clinic or or any other place that you're working. You will be that first person in the door. You will be doing a lot of things with them. You may do CLIA wave tests, the tests you've learned about, glucose tests, INRs, possibly even things like A1C, that sort of thing. Clotting factors, you'll do a lot of those. You'll do throat swabs. So you'll have some opportunity to do all of those things, but you'll be the first person in the door. You're going to be asking the patient, why are you here? You all know that from having taken some of TEL's classes, especially the vital signs class. What is your first interview with the patient? What are you asking? So you're going to ask those questions, and those answers go into the record. Most of the clinics these days are equipped with a variety of automated data transfer equipment. When someone goes in, when you go into an office now, they're almost always either carrying a laptop or a tablet computer of some sort, where they do the interview, enter the data, update your medication records, do all sorts of things. But one of the things that they will say is, why are you here today? And you will tell them. Sometimes it'll be, well, you called me for my annual physical. That's my answer, because that's all I go for. Now, I'm lucky I don't get sick, but generally speaking, that's it. On the other hand, you can have somebody's going to start talking about, these are the things I'm feeling. So that information needs to go in, and just sort of a backup, if you have a chance to talk to the physician before, or the NP or the PA, before they go in to actually meet with the patient, if you think that there's something they really need to pay attention to, let them know. Nothing wrong with that. We spend a lot of time at doctors with my mother-in-law right now because, well, she's 99. And we've had a couple of really weird incidents, like we've been treating a leg ulcer on her that's about this big. And it's nasty. Never in my life did I think I would become a wound care specialist, especially at my age. But it's really been a learning experience, and we've had to take her in sometimes. And one of the neat things that I saw was they took a picture of it. That picture was taken with their cell phone, but it didn't stay on the cell phone. It was taken from their cell phone straight into the medical record. So when they walk out of there at night, that picture is not on that phone. So there's no HIPAA violation. That is cool. The technology is really getting crazy. It's wonderful. And we've been sending pictures back and forth to our wound care specialist of my mother-in-law's leg ulcer for the past 3-4 months. And it's really been a useful thing to have, because we can take these things and they can actually see a lot. It prompted the hospice medical director to come in and examine her, which is not a normal thing for a medical director to do. So, one of the reasons I want you to do case studies is to be thinking about listening to the patient. Now, you may not diagnose. That's not the scope of practice of an MA. However, you can certainly point out areas of concern. That is part of the scope of practice. And it's something that your primary is going to want. Now, in general, when you are working in an office, you'll be working for one specific practitioner. At least that's the way it is with the family practices that we've been aware of here in Colorado. And so you'll get to know the patients, and you'll get to recognize and see these things. Because patients will walk in, especially the elderly. We are the worst patients on earth sometimes. We either are whiners or, I'm fine, and their blood pressure is 300 over 200, some idiot thing like that, because they don't want to bother the doctor. Yeah, that's right. That's what doctors are for. And if you don't bother them, they can't help you. But just try to tell that to my parents' generation. Doesn't work. Sure. You will take the certification exam on Thursday, it'll be the day after our final class. So it'll be Thursday. Yes, you have to come here. Yes. So I was just saying before you came in, arrange your work schedule so that day you're free. It is online. You come in, you'll take it online. It's all multiple choice. You'll have your score when you leave. You will know that you passed it when you leave. And I want you to hear that language. You will know that you passed it, because that's our goal here. Everybody passes. And we have a real good track record. So, in fact, in the last year, I've only had one student not pass it. And that was because she got nervous. Well, never second guess. 90% probability you'll get rid of the right answer. Don't do it. And that's easy to say, I know, because I do it too. But remember, you've been studying this stuff now for your entire schooling. It's in the back of your head, and your brain knows where to find things. No, it's in the afternoon. Yeah. Yeah, you come in, I think you have to be here by 1 o'clock, and Erica Pepin is the one usually proctoring those right now. One of the day students. Yeah. You have to have the day off. Yes. Let me take a look right quick, because no. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, you'll have it on the 6th of, well, when you sign up, you'll see the dates that are available. It's 3 hours, which is more than enough. Believe me, it's more than enough. I'm not sure how many, I'm not sure how many questions there are. A couple of hundred, maybe? That's not that bad. Well, there's that. And I will tell you that, again, test-taking strategies, there's all manner of test-taking strategies. The one that works the best for me, I'm speaking strictly for myself, but a lot of people feel similarly, is to go through, answer the ones you clearly know, and then come back and use the, hello there. All righty. That's okay. It's okay. So go back and eliminate the obvious wrong answers. Also, carefully read the questions. Some of them will say, which of the following is not? I hate those questions because people miss the not. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why I say you have to read the questions carefully because they will try little subtle tricks. They're all multiple choice. We can't tell you what'll be on there because it changes every month. So that's why we do a lot of practice tests because we don't know what you're going to see. And we have no control over it whatsoever. But I urge you to think about how you want to take these things, to do whatever you can, meditate, tap, do anything that you know of that can help you calm down and be ready for this. Above all, I want you to come in knowing that you're going to pass. Hello, Katie. No problem. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Thanks. Oh, Cody, I have something for you.
Uh-oh.
It's a good thing.
What is this for?
It's for my daughter.
Give it away.
I'm trying to hide the damn daughter. Don't worry, I cover you in it. Just kidding.
So, and practice that. As I say, whatever you have as a calming mechanism. That's why we're doing all the quizzes, so that when you walk in, you're going to be confident about that. That's why I actually have 4 A and P quizzes, practice quizzes in here, because I think I've set them all for like at least 3 times. If you, okay, that's fine. If you want to take it, I can certainly add more tries. That's not a problem. Just let me know. I have, I think, only 1 terminology quiz in here right now. I have several others I can put in.
Yeah,
Okay.
that, my A and P is in a minute.
Yeah, that's right. And that's always been the biggest failure point. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm. Yep. We were the last class to do that, Amber. I don't even know what I did.
Well, yeah, okay, I'll put in some more terminology. Now, I want to emphasize one thing. This is your class. Okay, we're doing this for you. So what you want, I will do my best to provide. I just can't give you the answers to the final exam. There are phlebotomy questions, ECG questions, vital signs questions. There are billing and coding questions, everything. That's why you have those quizzes. Well, and that's really, yeah, good. I'm real pleased that she passed it. But the issue is there's another side of this, skills as well. If you have specific skills you really want to practice, we will do that. We have time in this class. We have in-class activities, which I have several things planned for. And we will go through things as well. One of the things that we will do is we'll actually do a quick review of the really critical part of taking an ECG, which is electrode placement. Good. Reading them is, again, as an MA, what you will do is not actually read an ECG trace. What you will do is look at one, and if it doesn't look right, you'll say, "Oh, great."
And if I saw one that totally looked crazy to me, then of course I brought it to them.
That's right. That's what you do.
They looked at each and every one I did.
Oh, of course they did. But if they're used to reading them, they can tell when things are not right. They can also look at an ECG trace and say, well, you didn't place V3 right. So that's why we want to be able to do that. Okay.
Once you've done it a few times, it's like it's stuck in your head.
Good. Yeah, that's fine. We will, and that's one of the in-class activities we'll be doing, will be that placement. And I've got a couple of documents I may print out that you probably haven't had in any of your classes on ECGs as well, that can be useful information to prepare you. Now, again, we, in the past, ECG questions have been on the certification exam. There's no guarantee there'll be more than a few. But I will tell you right now, you'll need to be studying things like getting prepared for examinations, positioning. Okay. If a doctor wants to do, or a practitioner wants to do a certain kind of exam, what position should the patient be placed into? Sims position, lithotomy position, M&A class, yeah. Oh, you are with Nate? Okay. Great. Good timing for that. Yeah. Positioning questions can appear. So that's going to be some things that you should be prepared to review. Here is where, when I used to, in the past, I actually had a lot more in here. I used to get everybody on to Connect, and we would do about 20 chapters out of the MA book in Connect. I found that the way it's set up now does the same thing without all that time burden for you guys. And that is a time burden. Doing 20 Connect lessons is a time burden. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, then we won't be doing that. But I have looked at that as well. So so we will continue. So you've got in the first week what I have in there for an in-class activity is vital signs. Now, if you don't want to do vital signs, we've got lots of other things we can practice. Just, again, skills. It's all about skills. As an MA in this state, you can do phlebotomy. Okay? You can do a lot of things. Not in every state. There are some states where MAs, it's not part of their practice act. However, here we can. Which is why you don't need a phlebotomy certification. Here in Colorado, if you're an MA, you can do phlebotomy, although hospitals, for instance, prefer people who are certified phlebotomists, if that's what you're interested in. The other thing, as I said before, I would like to get a list from you of the other certifications that you want to take.
I know there's
Phlebotomy, EKG, patient care tech, billing and coding, and pharmacy, yeah, pharm tech. Those are all,
what's patient care tech?
um,
I already
pardon?
did that.
What was that? Yeah.
Right, I don't have my signal. But the only things I'm interested in is phlebotomy and EKG. I am not interested in pharmacy.
After you take the first one at the end of this class. Okay. We want you to do that. You know that the program here. You don't? Yeah. You guys are in the last group, or not last, but it'll be actually IBMC on steroids. Because I know what the program is, and this one is going to be significantly more geared toward what you actually do as an MA in an office. For instance, IBMC has one class in billing, coding, insurance, all of that.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't. Medical billing and coding.
Yeah, well, but a lot of times that's what they do, and they're ill prepared
No, I understand.
when they go into the
What are
field.
they cutting out?
There will be much less pharmacy because we're not offering the Pharm Tech certification after the group. It has a lot to do with our accreditor and the fact that we weren't getting a lot of students taking the pharmacy tech certification here, passing it and getting jobs in that field. We had some, but it wasn't very many. And you know, I don't have all the details. I just teach the classes.
No, that's fine.
But they've done away with almost all the pharmacy. Well, yeah, and there are. Our students are still going to get that information. We will simply introduce it in other classes. There will be a heavier emphasis on A&P. There will be an emphasis on the procedures, testing, CLIA wave testing, and all the other things that you might do, patient interviewing. It'll be geared toward the skills that we are told are needed. And we will have several billing and coding classes and insurance classes, because that's what an MA will often are involved in a medical office. Not all, because I guarantee you the MAs that see my mother-in-law, because I take her fairly often to the doctor, they're not doing billing and coding. They're taking care of patients.
Right.
So it all depends on the office and what skills they need and what skills you're interested in deploying in the office. So we will be, everyone currently in the program will have a chance to take any and all of those certs they want. Okay? Once we transition all of the people who are registered and who are part of that program now, which is going to basically last through this year. Once we transition out of that, we will not be in a position to offer those extra certifications anymore. Unless we add programs in those fields, which we might.
Well, Nate was talking about doing certification for pets. That I think would be really neat.
That would be nice. It's a, yeah, that would require.
An OR.
Yeah, I'd love to have the be told, equip an OR.
I would love.
I'd love to be told that. I could have fun with that. I would love to see us do a
I would
medical
definitely come
technician
back for that.
certification. Because I'd love, again, to equip that lab and run it, because that's what I used to do down in Denver. But nonetheless, once we transition out, that's why we want to get you guys scheduled, because if you want any extra certifications, we want to get them as quickly as we can. Chantel wants to get the NCCT codes purchased and ready for you, in the next couple of months before she leaves. Yeah. ECG, billing and code. Okay. So Hope, you want
Heart phlebotomy and EKG.
okay. Alicia, do you have any idea? Okay. Alicia, I know you're interested in content.
Yep. I want all of them.
So you want them all? Yep. So you want farm, ECG, PCT. Okay, you want those? Okay, Amber? Okay. You want pharmacy, and okay. Sure, why not? Yeah.
I might end up changing my mind on some of them, but right now that's where I'm at.
I think that's a good idea.
Well, Billy and Curly
Have to talk with them.
they-
They go up and down on that. I will not promise you that. Joel has to do that. Okay, so I will pass that information along. Hope and
Well, definitely my MA, that's for sure.
well, that's where we all know that. Be aimed at here. You'll have that when you're done, so that we can go on. If you're the three of you who think you want to take the pharmacy tech, I will tell you, you need to study. It's a toughie. We will get you the codes so you can get the study tools from the NCCT type. Yeah. That's why we want to know. We want to get those purchased before they clamp down on our budget. Yeah, and I don't know if we do the electronic health records cert yet, still or not. Okay. I know we've had it because a couple of our students I don't know how they, Spring Charts is a model. Yeah. Well, I will tell you, it's sort of like the pharmacy software class that you guys took from me. That was a model software. Nobody uses that. Part of me says, thank God.
No kidding, right there with you.
But nobody uses it because everybody has their own proprietary system. They all collect the same data, though. So that model helps. The same with Spring Charts. It's all the same stuff. It's just, how do you do the scramble? Put it in. How do you scramble it up? And so you'd certainly, if you walked into a place cold and said, well, I've been trained on Spring Charts, and they even shoved me at Optum. First off, somebody's going to say ugh when you say Optum. But then they're going to say, okay, well, here, we'll give you some training on the system we use, because they're all different. They're all proprietary. They buy them from McKesson, Bergen, you know, yeah, there's a lot of them. So, in fact, I had a friend that used to was an MD that actually was in charge of their EHR marketing for McKesson. Um, he's now moved on, but because he didn't like the corporate world. But nonetheless, it's there. So I will put in that word too. We'll talk to Chantal and see what we have to get. Now, you can take one a month. One a month. Now that's good because you do have to study and prepare. You can come back here and audit classes. Remember that. You can come back here and audit classes. Yeah, sit in for no credit to get the material again. Yeah, and we just had Chantel's vital signs class last mod had one of our students who I taught all of her healthcare administration classes. She came back to brush up on vital signs, emergencies, and get recertified for CPR. So,
That's nice.
yeah,
You can do that.
you need to talk with them, but we've always let our students come back for those recertifications. You have to pay for the certification, but you can get the training and the paperwork here. You know, the practical part that you need.
Do you have any idea how much it costs?
It's not that expensive, as I
I know
recall.
like
I think my
the Red
wife paid
Cross is not like
$25 last year.
Oh, that's not bad. The
Yeah.
Red Cross is like $55, $60.
Well, but most of the thing is, your employers may pay you for it.
Usually they do.
So if they're going to, they'll probably have arrangements with someone to teach it. But there are a number of people that teach it. Yeah. And, but, as I said, Cindy came back here and took the research. And it was nice because I was doing Med 299 and she came in and let people poke her. So it was really nice. But she's a good example. She got her bachelor's degree here, and then she's going to walk this year to pick up her master's. So, she's really pushed it. So, and it was all because she decided to do that. So that's what it was. So I'll pass that information on to Chantel, and I'll let her know. Hope that you may add a couple later.
I might add more. This point, I think it's not my favorite. I don't want to behind the desk. I would.
I don't need that.
Something to fall back on.
If you can't get a job, doing the ones that you are certified, that you would prefer, you also want to.
And quite frankly, these days, they're in demand. People certified in billing and coding and electronic health records are in demand. And we had a student who graduated, I guess last year. And her goal was to have a home business as a contract billing and coding person. And I've known several people who have been very successful.
I know you can make really good money at it. Not
right, yeah. Right. Is it worth getting bored for? And that's only you can answer that question. So there are some things that I have sworn I would never do because they'd bore me to tears. I teach pharmacy, but I don't think I'd want to be working as a farm tech and counting pills. I would rather be working in a compounding pharmacy, being a chemist again. That's my personal feeling. But I like getting my hands dirty.
I do too.
So, and in fact, given what I've just been doing for the last several months, I could see myself being a wound care specialist, because it's interesting, the whole process. The whole process. Oh yeah. That's funny. One of the nurses that we have come in said that You know, people have stopped. People, when she first started being a nurse and dealing with hospice, because my mother-in-law's on home hospice, she'd have people ask her, "What's the grossest thing you've ever seen?" They stopped asking her after a couple of times because she would tell them, and they didn't like it. So, but it's interesting work, and it's fascinating, especially when you start learning about the science behind wound healing and some of the technologies we have. It's a fascinating area. Now, it can also be pretty gross. Yeah. Well, my wife, her first job as a physical therapist was in the wound care section of the physical therapy department. She said that was interesting. She worked with people with some really nasty injuries. So it's pretty interesting stuff. Anyway, so so let's go through and look at what do we got here. Okay, so this class goes to 9:15. We're supposed to take a break at 7 for 10 minutes, at 8 for 10 minutes. And then somebody said, well, you should take a break at 9. And I said, no, we're not. We're leaving at 9:15. Yes. And we can't leave at 9 because then they'd jump all over me for that. So we're going to take 2 breaks, 7 for 10 minutes and probably 8 for 15. Purpose of that is just to recharge your batteries because we're going to do some things. I'll also allow us to break up the class. What I normally do is the first hour we'll discuss whatever needs to be discussed. Maybe work on quizzes. As I said, I have lots of practice quizzes. If you get tired of doing them online, we can do them on paper. I've got plenty of them. I brought up a whole raft when I came up from Denver. We used to make our students take them all the time. They hated us for them. They passed their exams. So that was fine.
You want us to do the introduce yourself part?
I
think we know each other.
I think we all know each other. If there's anything you'd like to update, major changes in your life, and of course we've been following the major change in Amber's life for a couple of mods now. Yeah. Well, there's 3 good reasons, I guess. I'll let you choose the important one. But Cheyenne, yeah. Well, shoot, I used to know people who lived in Cheyenne and worked in Denver. I can't imagine doing that. Well, we had a dean down in Denver for 2 years who lived in Windsor. And the campus in Denver is at Colorado and I-25. So it's not like you drive into the near portion of the city. You got to drive right down through the mess. So yeah, I couldn't imagine why he wanted to do that. But anyway, so you're going to go to Cheyenne. That's good. Cheyenne's an okay town. I've only been there a couple of times.
It's a nice place to live. I like it there. Not bad.
Well, one of the nicest Christian weddings I ever went to was in Cheyenne, so it was nice.
Well, I'm currently unemployed. I quit my job on Friday.
You did?
I did.
You were there?
She pushed the button. She pushed the button. Yeah. No, I don't know that they were so nitpicky. A few months back, I was in Greeley, and there's a patient out there that has MS, and she's well bound, and I only went out there on the weekends once a month, supposedly, start off with. Anyway, I am human. Believe it or not, I'm human. And I had forgotten to plug in her wheelchair. I got written up for that. How stupid. I never did it again, but I forgot. So what? remind me and it won't happen again.
Um,
But then they took my clients I had away from me and decided I would be going to Johnstown and taking care of this woman, solely just this woman. And that was fine. I did that 3 days last week. And then they texted me on Friday and said that the client didn't want me back. And I was like, why? What happened? Oh, we'll come in on Monday and we'll discuss it. I said, am I losing my job? We'll discuss it on Monday. And I said, never mind, I quit. I'm done. Because they wrote me up twice for petty nonsense. Because I'm human.
mhm.
So I was like, I don't want to play your game anymore. So I'm desperately looking for a new job. I sat down on Saturday and I put in probably 15 applications and I haven't heard anything today. So
That's where you can talk with Thane
and
or
that's why I was
Todd.
wondering if he was here.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
I'm already
Let's-
signed up to drive with Lyft, so I could do Lyft in the meanwhile until I find another
Bless
job.
you. Yeah.
So that's the latest on mine.
Well, that's a change. I know you'd been kind of unhappy with it. Sometimes that's
I got to the point where it was like, I was working 7 hours a week and getting paid for 40, and I couldn't think about that. And I liked my clients. Then they took my clients away from me and gave me this woman, and again, I was fine with that. So I don't know what hair got up their hiney this time, but I wasn't gonna go in and get written up a third time and lose my job over something really incredibly stupid.
Yeah.
So I told them where they could shove it.
well, and sometimes that's what you need to do. Oh, please. Yeah, my theory is that chairs are not made for people. They're made for stacking.
I talked to Cole about it. We first started classes, I said, these chairs are awful. He goes, yeah, it's our way of keeping you awake. I'm like, yeah, you're not funny because they hurt my butt.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. You're trying to register it for the NCCT exam? Okay. You should have an account. If you don't have an account, you have to sign up for one.
Do you wanna, are we gonna do the in-class activity?
Yeah, after the break, I think we'll do whatever you guys want. That's my question.
Yeah, I know vital signs in and out. I've done so many of them, I could do them in my sleep.
You, Lisa, Amber? Okay, we'll practice.
Yeah,
Yeah, you guys can practice on
You know what you
Felicia
could
and
help me
Hope.
do, Michael?
Pardon?
Look up and see if we can find something that
Yes, let's do that.
isn't hearing it.
Yeah, well, I know there are stethoscopes that have volume control. They have some way of stepping up the gain on the signal that goes. But
Other than that, I mean, I don't mind doing like the discussion in class or whatever it is you want to, I mean.
well, what we're going to start on is if you look at assignment 1A, assignment 1A is to sign up for the exam. I'd like you to get that done tonight. Sign up for the MA exam. And I would like you to go ahead and use your code to, see where you're going to find the quizzes, because for the next couple of weeks, you're going to be doing those. Yes. It's right there. If you look at assignment 1A, it should give you a link that take you straight to ncct.com.
So,
In C, and maybe is that what it is?
Yep. Yeah. Medical office assisting. You should be taking the think it's the CCMA. Let me take a quick look outside. I'm not sure, because there's actually a couple of different.
What? We scale slushy. Not trying to like achieve metro.
So the ID is this code? Okay.
I'm still looking in. $90.
So do I go ahead and register or do I wait?
Probably.
Okay, I don't want to do something. I got some sun today sitting in the car. And I woke up to the sun. Did you figure out the carpet shampoo, Amber? I apologize. I didn't get crap done today. That looks great.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. Let's, I was gonna,
It says the NCCT user ID must be a number. Please remember the extra blank space. So I don't know. Burke.
let's see. Let's see if I sign in here. I need to look that up.
I just messed up. I just said, oh, without my code. We'll just sign up with the, sign up with the code. Okay. It's,
Is it this one?
I don't know yet.
No, correct. You're not hot too.
I'm not on top.
You're not all what? No, I just wasn't interested in going in and being told, oh, you didn't shut the door right, or you didn't cook those eggs right, we're gonna write you up for it. Give me a break.
You're not doing it the first time.
Yeah, that's how I felt about it. I wasn't gonna set myself up for it, so I said, you know what, shove it, I'm done. Yeah, I said, I didn't wanna go in there and be told you did this wrong, that wrong, and the other wrong. It's like, you know what, fuck it, I don't want it anymore. You can keep your job. If you would have left me alone and let me be with the clients I had, we were doing fine. Yeah, I'm not supposed to have a conversation with the clients. I'm supposed to go in, bathe them, and leave. They told me I was not to have a conversation with them and be friendly with them. I'm like, okay, I don't work that way. Yeah. And then you wonder why they're having a hard time finding CNAs. Maybe because you treat them like shit. Yeah, they wanted me to work at that woman's house. Saturday and Sunday only, 14-hour days each day. Yeah. Well, that's what I thought too. I thought, all right, I'll suck it up. Right. No conversation. Well, I did when I was there for those 3 days. I barely spoke to the woman. Talked to my computer. But they tried to tell me that she didn't want me back, and I'm thinking, I think you're full of shit. So and I wasn't about to go in there and get yelled at for doing something else stupid. For now, I'm gonna drive to Lyft until I find something else. I don't know how much you can make it Lyft, but it pays my bill. Yeah, I have time to get homework done. I gotta have time to. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping to make enough to pay the bills. I'm a little stressed out over not having a job. Because my bills don't stop. No, I didn't. Home health, that's what I want. I don't want to work in a nursing home. I'd rather cut my arms and legs off before I do that. I'll look at it. Well, I was looking at the CNA because I thought I can get a CNA job in a minute. But most of them were nursing homes. I'm like, hell no. I'd rather drive my car around than do that.
Okay. So, yeah, it's the, you want the medical assistant that they have here. You have the user ID is, have you ever been on their site before and created an account? So you need to create an account. Yeah. Okay. Leave it blank, yeah, if you don't have it, because they'll give it to you. It will call for that when you are, when you get in there and want to do the practice tests. Okay?
This is already a user with this email and database. In the database. So log in.
So log in, and if you don't know your password, you'll have to ask them to send you a new one. The password is a 6-digit number to get into your NCCT account.
Well, how would I know?
Well, they give it to you when you register.
Okay, well, I'm gonna delete that password.
Certification. Or are you talking about your program here? Oh, your program type is an associate's degree. That's what you'll have. You'll have an associate's degree in occupational specialties.
We're not this bad.
We're all just humans here. I need to go get that. I'll be right back. Yeah. I'll have to get that. Why don't we go ahead and we'll get the information.
I wonder if this is the school project.
Pardon?
Is that the color that they give us?
Yeah, that's why I want to go ahead and get that.
And then they- 10 days before my daughter's.
I will be back. So go ahead and just say, take your first break.
Now that, now what?
June 6th, right? Yeah. I can't read. Have you signed up for the link on it? Go to the top of the certification.
Okay.
Over.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh, here, I see, the, okay.
And then refresh on. I went to certification home. And then the medical. June 6th, 2019. First one, medical system. What? That's what we're reading on over there. That's not the first code. It's not family. It's not this happening. He's having this. What? Oh my God.
What did you see in a date? I'm totally confused here.
It's at the very last. You have to fill that information on top.
What information? This? It only gives you California, Washington, and stuff.
Other states.
I did that.
Okay. Here. And yes, I am a current student. And then, yes, and then associate's degree. And, until you. I think it's all. You have a point out?
Do I need to put my middle name?
I didn't put my middle initial. It's just so that no big deal. It's gonna blow up and. Did you say something? Yes, I told you. I said she's, no, today she's a hospital. That's what I was trying to tell you, and you said, okay. You weirdo. Here's all that. The brush. Look at it. Brush my hair. No judgment. I'm not brushing.
Honey, I'm busy.
That's gonna be helpful. Yes. I wouldn't be surprised if my stuff has that. Yeah, it's good so much. I really don't have that much, just. Oh yeah, look at my shelf. Pull up my first tab on my end. Yeah, and then all the practice tests. Week one, we had like 6 quizzes. to do. And then plus all our practice on the NCCT test. Good practice test, and then we have to take our certification test on June 6th. I'm excited to be done.
Me too, I'm right there.
Sorry,
And that's
it's
why I
really
thought,
bad.
okay, if I have to do the weekends, they fucking do, I can get my internship done in a month. And then they talk to me on that, I said, I'm done with you guys' bullshit, I'm done.
Intern, you can make your own schedule. I don't know, well, mine you can, I don't know how home health is, but I'm pretty sure, like, you can tell them what you're available. Give you people. Yeah, I know.
Like, these pregnancy stuff, I don't know why, but like, if I'm on a school and then sick,
Like your cheeks or your,
yeah, and her booty cheeks.
So she tickles them.
do you
I
have
don't
any,
think that it's my ass.
do you have any Benadryl at home, cream?
No, I can't.
What kind of lotion is that? Because my daughter has eczema too.
It's like the
Oh.
bone. The only one I use, but I actually can't use it very often. I got mine. I'm trying not to fall asleep.
I'm not your look.
Since my eyebrows are so long.
Why is my daughter's email address in here?
Why do there's information everywhere?
I know, what the hell? That's not correct, how do I fix that?
I don't know. I put my email address in it. I'll do that.
Right. Finally, it's happened.
Did the Nate question whether you really had that many hopes?
No.
He questioned me.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, really, Nate, you think I'd lie? Really?
He was watching me most of the time.
Hey, I just hope they contact you, is what I'm saying.
It's all
Well, that stinks. I don't know what you can do about it. Take it again. Already passed too. Well, all you can do is contact her and hope that she gets back. You know what you could do is put out a and tell her, look, I want to test because it's screwed up and Okay, we'll tell her that. Michael, for whatever reason, it wants to verify my daughter's email address instead of my own. I don't know why. It says continue if the email is correct. It's not. It's my daughter's email, not mine.
That's weird.
That's weird.
You wouldn't have set it up that way
No,
for any
sir, I did
reason?
not.
Yeah. Huh.
I'm gonna let you go, okay? Good luck. I hope that we figure it out. Because it won't let me. This says your email address is, and it gives your address. It says has not been verified. The verification email will be sent to you. Once you receive, please follow the instructions to ensure timely communications containing your account. This is so I can take my report. For whatever reason, it has your email address.
Crazy. Okay, so Marina, if you are listening to this, you need to go ahead and get yourself registered with NCCT. If you're not, you'll have to sign up for an account in order and sign up for the certification. If you have other certifications you want, let's go ahead and sign up for them now, 1 month apart. Pick the order. If you are interested in pharmacy technician, I'd suggest you make that last because we have to make special arrangements through another testing service. It's not an NCCT test. So go ahead and set yourself up for others. It will save the school a bunch of money, and we'll get you scheduled and we'll get you started getting prepared. So let's go ahead and do that. I will tell you when you get into that certification site, this NCCT site, you'll have to go down here and look at the current student, and that's what you are now. So you'll be signing up. They will ask for a school code, which is 37411, and then you'll probably need a billing code, which is CAFC, College America Fort Collins, CAFC 37411. So go ahead and sign up for a bunch of them. Let me know which ones you sign up for, because I need to tell Chantel as well, because we'll go ahead and get practice codes for you at the same time. So let me know that you've done that. The rest of this class will be practicing some skills and then moving on to doing some quizzes and stuff today. So I'm going to stop this recording now. When you look at the recording, send me an email with the word Lugano, Lugano, in it.